Ibrahim Traore, the fifth president of Burkina Faso, and Africa's youngest president whose name echoes across the continent like a thunder. His actions and trajectory of leadership in Burkina Faso makes the old African leaders look like real jokers, if not hungry hyenas, who have been milking their people and countries. Having risen to power in September 2022, after removing Paul-Henri Damiba in a coup d'etat, the young military leader has demonstrated charisma in handling the affairs of Burkina Faso while putting his country first, making numerous development and shaping the country's political landscape for a better future. In this video, we explore some of the key developments that Ibrahim Traore has initiated in Burkina Faso that changed the trajectory of the country in less than 2 years of his leadership. Some of the developments we will discuss in this video have never been seen in Africa before, even by long-serving leaders like Yoweri Kaguta Museveni of Uganda, Biya Paul of Cameroon, and Denis Sassou of the Republic of Congo, among others. Before we dive into the developments, I request your support. Like this video, share and comment, as that goes a long way in supporting growth of the channel. So let's get started. During the Russia-Africa Summit, held on August 2023 at St. Petersburg, Russia, President Ibrahim Traore echoed out in a speech saying, "A slave who cannot assume his own revolt does not deserve to be pitied. We do not feel sorry for ourselves. We do not ask anyone to feel sorry for us." As he called upon African leaders to take up the fight against imperialism and poverty, in his concluding remarks, he urged African leaders to seek self-reliance and food security for their people. Rare words from such a young leader, typical of his predecessor and probably role model Thomas Sankara, who also assumed the leadership of Burkina Faso by coup d'etat at the same age of 35. Ibrahim Traore is a true leader who practices what he preaches. President Ibrahim Traore has turned down an offer to be allocated a presidential salary. Rather, he has preferred to maintain his salary of a military captain, saving the Burkinabe taxpayer huge chunks of money for other development projects. His actions have put a sharp contrast to many contemporary African leaders who use their positions to amass huge wealth. In fact, today, President Ibrahim Traore's salary as a military captain in the Burkinabe army is anywhere between $500 to $600 only. Of the 54 African countries, he does not even score 53 richest president in Africa compared to his counterparts like President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni of Uganda with an estimated net worth of $13 billion, Teodoro Obiang of Equatorial Guinea estimated at $600 million, Rwanda's Paul Kagame estimated at $510 million, and Kenya's William Ruto estimated at $480 million. Ibrahim Traore's net worth is way below $1 million. What a miracle for an African-serving president. Unlike many African leaders who are identical with luxurious lifestyles, ranging from lengthy luxurious presidential motorcades to presidential jets and bungalows, Ibrahim prefers simplicity and travels in a simple double-cabin pickup in the company of his soldiers, showing a sharp contrast between what true leadership should be vis-a-vis what contemporary Africa counterparts have been doing for decades. While countries like Uganda allocate 6 billion shilling annually to the acquisition of presidential attire, Ibrahim prefers his military uniform that he wore even during the Russia-Africa Summit back in 2023. President Ibrahim Traore adapts a unique approach to leadership that was used by Uganda's former dictator Idi Amin Dada. He mingles with the local communities, sharing with them and listening to their challenges, problems, and suggested solutions. A total contrast to other contemporary African leaders who are escorted at killer-head speeds past their electorate. This way, Ibrahim has been able to intervene in the crucial points of the economy, security, and political developments that the Burkinabe communities have long yearned for. On the 25th of May, as the national consultation was being held in Ouagadougou to determine the fate of transition, demonstrations and processions greeted the atmosphere in the Burkinabe capital as citizens demanded that Ibrahim Traore's leadership be extended longer. However, the consultative meeting preferred the transition to be extended for only 5 years. How many African leaders can proudly say their people are proud of them and wish for their rule to be genuinely extended for even a year? Since assuming power in 2022, Traore has pledged and is on course fighting extremist violence, making new alliances with Russia to supply weapons, training and intelligence gathering for the Burkinabe military, changing the tables in favour of Burkina Faso's internal stability, something his predecessors had failed after decades in power. Cognizant of his desire to fight imperialism and poverty, Ibrahim accused the French of fueling the extremist violence in the country. Bold with balls of steel, he expelled the former colonial masters, kicking out French troops and diplomats, suspending French media channels that spread false propaganda about the state of affairs in Burkina Faso, and boldly accusing French officials of espionage while other African leaders are busy leaking boots of the colonial masters. In December 2023, Traore's government adopted a new bill that enshrined the national Burkinabe language as the official language, reducing French to a mere working language. Burkina Faso is the 4th largest gold producer in Africa, and for years the colonial masters had found way to urinate and reap the country off its gold deposits. For the first time in history, Ibrahim Traore banned the export of non-processed gold to any European country, calling it a bid to better organise the sector, a total complete contrast with many other African countries. Ibrahim has transformed Burkina Faso to a political powerhouse challenging the imperialist supremacy that had long been orchestrated in the region through Nigeria and ECOWAS. Ibrahim has withdrawn Burkina Faso from ECOWAS and formed fresh military alliance with like-minded leaders in Mali, Guinea and Niger, bringing American and European supremacy and imperialism to check in the Sahel region, and greeting devastating assault to the Islamic insurgents in the region. Ibrahim is just less than 2 years in power and is already exhibiting developments in the country that are worth decades in power and beyond for the average contemporary African leader. His development for Burkina Faso extends to the road sector with numerous road modernisation, expansion and upgrades already ongoing. Some key road projects include the 233-kilometre Ouagadougou-Djibasso Highway, the Ouagadougou-Kaya Highway, and the Ouagadougou-Zinare highways, among others, and numerous other cross-border roads. These developments have never been a pattern for the people of Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is one of Africa's poorest countries. Ibrahim, however, is committed to reversing this trajectory. His government secured a $61.8 million loan from the West African Development Bank to construct the Ouagadougou International Airport. The airport, with a capacity of 1.5 million passengers per year, is expected to be completed by the end of 2024 and will generate some 5,000 jobs for the youth of Burkina Faso. The airport development is key to Ibrahim, as he views it as a key stimulator for the economy, as it will ease the movement of good to and fro Burkina Faso. Ibrahim has also prioritised agricultural mechanisation, with his government procuring some 5,000 tractors that will be availed to rural farmers to use for tilling land free of charge. The multi-entrepreneurship programme under Ibrahim's leadership is yet another pointer of a true leader with passion. The Startup Burkina Faso programme provides startups and support to the citizens of Burkina Faso to start up businesses by offering training and funding. To date, more than 1,000 startups are already running, and moreover this is only limited to Burkina Faso nationals, a total contrast with many African countries where Asians run the show on the streets. The project is expanding the tomato paste making industry and coal mining, a priority to be undertaken by local citizens. Another project is the Semendini Dam project. When Ibrahim assumed power in 2022, the dam was 70% complete. He has, however, hinted the completion of the dam is a priority and allocated extra resources to the project. He has also instructed the construction workers to double up speeds. The dam has a capacity of 1 billion cubic meters of water that will cater for irrigation of more than 100,000 hectares of land, boosting agricultural production and food security in the country. The dam will also produce electricity and reduce Burkina Faso's reliance on imported electricity, hence boosting industrial development and create jobs for the local populations. Ibrahim's government has also secured funding from the World Bank, European Union and Africa Development Bank to develop renewable energy to the tune of 30% coverage of the country by 2030. So far, the Zuli solar power plant, generating up to 33 megawatts, was completed successfully. The country is also massively investing in biomass and biogas projects that use agricultural waste to generate energy. This is planned to reduce reliance on fossil fuels and mitigate climate change to foster economic growth. In Burkina Faso, the highest numbers of child mortality is connected to waterborne diseases. His government has launched the Water for All programme. The programme aims to provide clean, safe water to all citizens of Burkina Faso by 2030, through improvement of water management, construction of new wells and boreholes, and rehabilitation of the existing wells and boreholes. As part of the project, the government is undertaking construction of sanitation facilities, including public toilets, to curb the spread of sanitation-related illnesses. Ibrahim is prioritising agricultural and rural development projects to improve food security and provide jobs in the agricultural sector by providing quality seeds and fertilisers, training and technical assistance, improvement of marketing of agricultural produce, and construction of irrigation schemes to allow all year through farming. What else can someone ask from a 36-year-old leader who has been in power for just less than 2 years? Well, maybe the old mongoose must be ashamed of themselves, but should at least learn a thing or two from Ibrahim. No offence, the Bantu tribe in Africa have a saying that goes, "Even the one you gave birth to can play the drum, and you dance." Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe, share the video, like, and comment telling us which African president has delivered these enormous amounts of developments in 2 years in their countries.